Welcome to the world of science fiction stories, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel. Enjoy the listening. No one heard from Earth in decades. Then our words stunned the galaxy. The envoy of Earth, the Galactic Commonwealth's Grand Assembly Hall, hung suspended in space, a massive crystalline structure orbiting the neutral star Proxima Centauri. Inside, representatives from over 300 species conducted the business of governing known space. Their voices, a symphony of dialects, clicks, and harmonic resonances, were translated seamlessly through neural interfaces. For 70 years, one seat had remained conspicuously empty. Earth's ambassador, Eliza Chen, stood at the viewport of her shuttle, watching the assembly hall grow larger, her weathered face reflected in the transparent aluminum. Dark eyes steadied despite the weight of her mission. Behind her, the small crew of 5 maintained a professional silence, each aware of the historical significance of this journey. "Final approach clearance granted, Ambassador," the pilot announced. "Commonwealth Control advises minimal guard presence as requested." Chen nodded. "Perfect. The fewer barriers between us and them, the better." The Commonwealth had been puzzled by humanity's reclusiveness since first contact. Earth had participated in basic trade agreements, accepted diplomatic missions, shared rudimentary cultural exchanges, but steadfastly refused full membership. Human ships rarely ventured beyond the Sol system's edge, and when they did, they moved with purpose and returned quickly. Speculation about human nature had become something of a pastime among Commonwealth species. Some believed humans were pathologically xenophobic. Others thought Earth's unified government was hiding some terrible secret. None had guessed the truth. The shuttle docked with a gentle shudder. Chen straightened her simple gray uniform, its only adornment a small insignia representing Earth's unified nations. "Ready the presentation materials," she instructed her science officer, Dr. Imani Okoro. "Remember, no data transfer until I give the signal." The Commonwealth's reception party consisted of 7 representatives, one from each major evolutionary branch of sentient life. Leading them was High Counselor Zevel, an imposing figure with iridescent scales and compound eyes that reflected the docking bay's lights in kaleidoscopic patterns. Ambassador Chin Zathel's voice resonated through his translator. "Your request for an emergency session of the full assembly was unprecedented. The Commonwealth has granted this extraordinary measure out of respect for Earth's sovereignty, despite your planet's historical reluctance to engage with greater galactic society." Chen bowed slightly. "The Commonwealth's accommodation is appreciated and will be remembered. Time is of the essence." As they proceeded through the station's grand corridors, Chen observed the reactions of passing aliens: curiosity, suspicion, even faint hostility. For decades, humanity had been the distant enigma, the species that refused integration despite countless overtures. "Your message mentioned an existential threat," Zoffel continued, yet provided no details. Many delegates questioned whether this was merely a diplomatic maneuver to secure trade concessions. Chen stopped walking, causing the entire delegation to halt. "High Counselor, I understand the skepticism, but consider, after 70 years of minimal engagement, would Earth request a full assembly for anything less than a crisis that threatens us all?" The assembly hall fell silent as Chen took the central platform. 3,000 representatives from across the galaxy focused their attention on the first human most had ever seen in person. The architecture amplified her position, a single figure bathed in light within a vast amphitheater designed to humble individuals before the collective wisdom of diverse species. Representatives of the Galactic Commonwealth listened intently as Chen began, her voice calm but penetrating. "For 7 decades, humanity has maintained a policy of limited engagement with the broader galactic community. Today, I will explain why. Since our first detection of extraterrestrial signals, even before first contact, humanity united around a singular imperative: survival. While we celebrated the discovery that we were not alone, our scientists and leaders identified a fundamental vulnerability, a technological disparity that could lead to our extinction." Chen activated a holographic display showing Earth's solar system. "Rather than rush to join the Commonwealth, we dedicated ourselves to understanding our place in the cosmos. We developed technologies on independent paths, established deep space monitoring networks, and prepared for possibilities that our still young civilization might face. The hologram expanded to reveal a network of observation platforms extending far beyond Earth's solar system. This revelation caused immediate consternation. These installations demanded a representative from the Satan Alliance. They violate multiple non-proliferation treaties, and they are defensive monitoring stations only, Chen replied evenly. And they have detected something approaching from the void between galaxies. The hologram shifted again, displaying what appeared to be empty space. Then, Chen enhanced the image by applying multiple spectrum filters. Something massive moved in the darkness, not a ship or fleet, but an anomaly that seemed to bend light around it. 70 years ago, our preliminary detection systems registered this disturbance. We've spent decades confirming its existence, trajectory, and nature before bringing this information to the Commonwealth. What exactly are we seeing? Zaffel asked, his compound eyes fixed on the display. We call it the void tide, Chen answered. A cosmological phenomenon unlike anything in Commonwealth records. It absorbs energy, consumes matter, and leaves nothing in its wake. It has altered course 3 times in our observation period, suggesting intelligence or response to stimuli. Its current trajectory will bring it to the edge of Commonwealth space within 8 years. The chamber erupted in voices, skepticism, alarm, accusations of human deception. Chen waited patiently until Zaffel restored order. These claims require verification, a representative of the technologically advanced Mirage hierarchy stated. If such a threat existed, surely our own detection networks would have identified it. Chin nodded. The void tide exists partially outside normal space, time. It's detectable only through quantum field disruptions and gravitational lensing effects at specific frequencies. Commonwealth technology excels in conventional detection, but lacks the particular systems needed to observe this phenomenon. To prove her point, Chen signaled Dr. Okoro, who distributed access codes to the chief scientists of each major delegation. These grant temporary access to our raw observation data and detection methodologies. Your scientists will need to recalibrate your instruments using these parameters to confirm our findings independently. The Garland Prefect, a being composed of floating luminous spheres arranged in a rough humanoid shape, moved forward. If what you claim is true, why have humans concealed this threat for decades while developing technologies in isolation? Why not share this burden immediately upon discovery? Chen's expression remained composed, but her voice carried a new weight. Because 70 years ago, Earth was a divided planet, still learning to cooperate internally. We needed time to verify the threat and develop potential countermeasures before creating possible panic. And frankly, we needed to advance our own technological capacity to ensure humanity's survival, regardless of the Commonwealth's response. She activated another holographic display showing designs for massive defensive installations and specialized ships unlike anything in the Commonwealth fleet. Earth has developed technologies specifically designed to counter the void tide. Quantum displacement shields, phase-shifted energy weapons, and special detection systems are ready for deployment. But implementing these defenses across Commonwealth space requires resources beyond Earth's capacity. We cannot face this alone, nor can you. A heavy silence fell over the assembly as the implications sank in. Zathel's compound eyes reflected the holographic displays as he studied them carefully. You come asking for an alliance, he stated. No, Chen corrected. I come offering one. After generations of preparation, humanity stands ready to defend not just Earth but all sentient life in this galaxy. The question is whether the Commonwealth will stand with us. The assembly erupted once more, but this time the tone had shifted. Skepticism remained, but fear and urgency now dominated the discourse. Chen stood unwavering at the center of the storm, Earth's envoy finally revealing why humanity had kept its distance all these years. In the observation gallery, Dr. Okoro monitored the secure transmissions as Commonwealth scientists began analyzing Earth's data. She leaned toward Chin and whispered, "The MASH and Satans have already confirmed our findings. The others won't be far behind." Chen nodded almost imperceptibly. "Then we proceed to Phase 2. Contact Commander Resnick. Tell him to bring the Guardian fleet to the reunion of coordinates." After 70 years of silence and preparation, humanity was finally ready to reveal its true capabilities to the stars. The Guardian Protocol, the emergency session of the Galactic Commonwealth, stretched into its third day as delegations processed Earth's revelation. The Assembly Hall had transformed from a chamber of governance into a war room, with tactical displays replacing administrative schedules and working groups forming around specialized concerns. Ambassador Chen had hardly slept, moving tirelessly between diplomatic negotiations and technical briefings. The void tide has consumed 17 unoccupied star systems over the past century, she explained to the Commonwealth Defense Council. Each instance followed the same pattern: quantum disruption, gravitational collapse, and complete absorption of all matter and energy. High Counselor Zaffel studied the simulation with his multifaceted eyes. And you're certain it will reach populated Commonwealth territory within 8 years. 7 years, 10 months, corrected Dr. Okoro. Its velocity has increased by 3.7% since our presentation 2 days ago. The revelation that humans had been right, that an existential threat approached from beyond the galaxy, had fractured the Commonwealth along predictable lines. The militant species called for immediate military mobilization. The scientific factions demanded more data and research time. The spiritually inclined interpreted the void tide through prophecies and metaphysical frameworks, and political opportunists sought advantage in the crisis. Through it all, humanity's representatives maintained a steady, pragmatic approach that gradually earned respect. Ambassador Chen called the MASH delegate, her feathered crest raised in a gesture of formal challenge. Your proposed defensive strategy would require significant technological integration across Commonwealth systems, yet you've revealed only fragments of human capabilities. What else are you concealing? Chen exchanged glances with her security chief. It's time, she said quietly, then addressing the council. Your right to question our transparency, allow me to address that concern directly. She activated her neural link. Commander Resnick, you are cleared to proceed. Klaxons sounded throughout the assembly hall as proximity alarms triggered on the main display. A massive distortion appeared near the Proxima Centauri jump point, then another and another. Within moments, 27 distortions resolved into ships unlike anything the Commonwealth had encountered, sleek obsidian vessels with configurations that defied conventional design principles. This is the Earth Guardian Fleet, Chen announced over the commotion. Developed in secret over 50 years, these vessels represent humanity's commitment to survival. They are equipped with prototype systems specifically designed to engage the void tide. The assembly hall erupted in outrage and alarm. Security forces mobilized and weapon systems throughout the station went to high alert. Zaffel raised all 4 arms. For silence! You bring an unauthorized military fleet to the seat of Commonwealth governance? His voice carried both anger and astonishment. I bring our contribution to the Alliance, Chen corrected. Every ship is operating with defensive systems only. Their presence is a demonstration of our commitment, not a threat. On the main screen, a transmission activated. A weathered human face appeared, Commander Victor Resnick, his gray hair cropped short and eyes that spoke of decades of purpose, representative of the Commonwealth. His deep voice resonated through the chamber. For generations, Earth has prepared for this moment. While you may see our secrecy as deception, we view it as necessary vigilance. The Guardian Fleet stands ready to integrate with Commonwealth forces under joint command structures. The Garland Prefect's luminous spheres pulsed rapidly. Your actions reflect precisely why many Commonwealth species have remained wary of humans. You develop military technology in secret, establish unauthorized monitoring networks, and now arrive with a battle fleet while claiming peaceful intentions. Chen nodded in acknowledgement of the criticism. Our methods were shaped by necessity, not ideology. Earth united around one principle: survival requires preparation. We could not risk our defensive technologies being compromised before completion. Resnick continued the explanation. The Guardian vessels incorporate phase-shifted quantum technology that allows them to interact with the void tide's extra-dimensional aspects. Their shields can withstand the gravitational distortions that precede full manifestation, and their weapon systems can disrupt the tide's coherence. Technical specifications flowed to the Commonwealth scientists, who began analyzing the data with increasing excitement. The Mirage delegate's feathered crest slowly lowered as she examined the information. This quantum displacement technology, she said, is decades beyond our theoretical models. Necessity accelerated our development. Chen replied, when facing extinction, innovation flourishes. Gradually, the initial shock subsided as the Commonwealth representatives recognized the implications. Humanity hadn't been hiding out of fear or hostility, had been preparing, developing defensive systems while the rest of the galaxy conducted business as usual, unaware of the approaching danger. Over the next several hours, Commander Resnick provided a detailed briefing on the Guardian fleet capabilities and the proposed defensive strategy. Commonwealth tactical experts were shuttled to the flagship, the Aegis, to observe the systems firsthand. Scientists began integrating Earth's detection parameters into Commonwealth networks, and suddenly, across thousands of monitoring stations, the invisible became visible, the void tide's magnitude now apparent to all. In the relative privacy of a diplomatic chamber, Zathel confronted Chen directly. "Your revelation has fundamentally altered the Commonwealth's future," the High Counselor stated. "Some delegations view humanity's actions as heroic foresight, others see dangerous deception. Both perspectives have merit." Chen accepted the assessment with a slight nod. "History will judge whether our path was correct. For now, the only relevant question is whether we stand together against the void tide." "The Commonwealth will not surrender its sovereignty to Earth regardless of the threat," Zathel warned. Chen replied, "We're not asking for control, only cooperation. Earth has no interest in dominance, only in survival for everyone." 3 weeks after Earth's revelation, the first direct observation of the void tide occurred. A joint Commonwealth, Earth science vessel detected a minor incursion at the predicted coordinates. The phenomenon manifested as a localized distortion that consumed an uninhabited planetoid in seconds, leaving nothing behind, not even debris. The recorded data was transmitted throughout Commonwealth space, eliminating the last vestiges of doubt. Within days, the Galactic Commonwealth formally enacted the Guardian Protocol, a comprehensive defensive strategy incorporating Earth's technologies with Commonwealth resources and infrastructure. Commander Resnick stood on the bridge of the Aegis, watching as Commonwealth vessels docked with Earth ships to begin the technological integration process. Ambassador Chen's hologram appeared beside him. "Phase 3 is proceeding on schedule," he reported. "Commonwealth engineers are adapting surprisingly quickly to our systems." Chen smiled slightly. "Perhaps we underestimated them all these years, or perhaps they're simply pragmatic when facing extinction." Resnick countered, "The real test will come with the first major void tide incursion. We've done everything possible to prepare." Chen said, "The rest is up to fate." Resnick shook his head. "In my experience, Ambassador, fate favors the prepared, and humanity has been preparing for this moment for 70 years. As the joint fleet began formation exercises, news spread throughout Commonwealth worlds. The reclusive humans, long objects of curiosity and suspicion, had emerged as unexpected guardians. They had spent generations developing defenses while keeping their distance, not out of fear of alien life, but out of a commitment to preserving all life. In the assembly hall, Earth's long-empty seat was finally occupied permanently. Chen sat among the representatives of 300 species, no longer an outsider, but a full partner in the Commonwealth. The 70-year silence had ended, and humanity's voice now resonated throughout the stars, not in conquest or domination, but in a solemn promise of protection. The void tide approached, but it would not find an unprepared galaxy. It would find humanity standing alongside the diverse species of the Commonwealth, ready to defend their collective future with technologies forged in decades of silent preparation. The greatest revelation wasn't Earth's advanced technology or the approaching threat. It was that humanity's seeming isolation had always been an expression of its deepest commitment to the community of sentient life. They had distanced themselves not out of fear, but out of responsibility. After years of silence, humanity's message had indeed shaken the stars, but it had also united.